Hi, today on Open Hand Farm, we are going to work on a project that has been needing to be done for months. We are in what we call our larder that has the heater, water heater, stuff like that in it. And we store our fresh produce and our canned goods, as well as paper goods or any other items that we just keep on hand that we get at Costco or Azure Standard. So this room has been needing an overhaul for actually probably a year. So today I'm going to start this process. It's going to take a few days, not going to lie. There's no way I could do it in one day. I'm going to kind of step back and show you this half of the larder, and then I'll show you the other half. So there's the door into the Bafar larder. If you haven't seen my freezer video, you don't know what that is, but that's the door. Here is where I will put my canned goods that are right now sitting on top of a table in the main room of the basement. Over on this side, we also have all of our grains that we have fed our chickens and rabbits with, as well as charcoal, stuff like that. This tub did have some cabbages stored in it, but not anymore. So I need to get rid of that. Now I'm going to turn you around to the other side. This is a big storage shelf that has, I'm going to be honest, stuff on it that we probably don't need. I need to go through, or could be taken to the attic, because honestly, we need that space for storage down here. We also have all of our squash that we're overwintering, as well as our potatoes and sweet potatoes, and we have just a plethora of other things. Now my job is to make this all cohesive, organized, and to be a storage space that really benefits our needs. So the first thing I'm going to do is start going through the tubs and all the boxes and things that are on this big shelf unit. In order to do that, I brought them into this middle room so I have a table to work on, and I'll show you what kind of things these are. This one is keepsakes. Things that my babies wore, or little booklets that they did, or stuff like that. So I could probably go through this and pare it down and see if they want to take any of these things home with them, and then I will have a smaller storage amount. So I told you that we have another table in here with canned goods on it that will go on the shelves in the larder, and those are over here, along with this whole pile of other things that need to be put away. But these are the canned goods that need to be put in the larder. Some of these are double stacked, so I need this table back. I'm going to go through the job of sorting through all of the items on that storage shelf, getting them either taken away, thrown away, or stored in the attic, and then I'll come back and let you help me with the rest. Okay, you guys, I have worked for 2 days since I started this video to go through all of the things on that shelf that I wanted to empty out. Let me remind you what it looked like. Okay, now I'll show you the shelf in just a second, but I want to show you the only things I am keeping from that shelf. These right here. These are t-shirts that I think belong to my son, that he wants a t-shirt quilt. This is like, hospital type pad things that I might need for my mom someday. This is the only keepsake. There were 8 keepsake boxes, you guys. 8. Now, you see a little bit of one back here. That is a tub that has piles in it to go to my different kids. I'm not keeping that. This one has picture albums in it. This one is letters that Mark and I wrote each other when we were dating, as well as letters that family sent us while we lived in England. And I want to look through those, and pictures that I need to look through. That's it. I tried to talk myself into just carrying all the boxes up to the attic and go through them later, but I knew that wouldn't happen. So I forced myself to go through all the boxes. Let me show you this shelf. I still have a few things on there. I moved the water up off the floor. All of these tubs were stacked on the floor, and those have a purpose of their own, so I'm just leaving them there for now. And the foil pans were already there. I used those for my community events, and then extra storage items on that next shelf, some paper plates, and a blow-up mattress on the top. Now I have lots of room for more storage. Now that I have some empty shelving here, what I want to do is take some things off of another shelf that are large that could fit here better, and then I could use those smaller shelves to put canned goods on. My meat slicer, my fryer, things like that, I could sit over here and save these smaller shelves for canned goods. As you come into the larder, I have this area that has flour buckets and oat buckets and stuff like that. I'd like a new home for those too. Now I'm digging around in our storeroom because I want to move some of those bags of grains and stuff like that, but I need pallets to put them on. So I was looking to see if I could find some boards that I could use for that. And instead I found some little pallets. So I'm going to clean them up and take them in and try to rearrange some of those bags of feed. This is where the bags are that I want to clear that area. It's on a ramp, and it just makes it really close to walk down that ramp. So I want to put them down here. So I'm pretty sure both of the pallets will go there. They fit, but I kind of want to be able to put them both this way. So this step here, I have plenty of room beside it. I think I'm going to try to move it over and fit them both right there. See if I'm strong enough. Okay, let's see what we can do. Yeah, we did it. Okay, this step is a little wobbly, which is maybe why he had it where he had it. So I am going to use a shim and try to give it a little bit more stability. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All I have is a really long shim, so we'll have to see if it's gonna work. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I'm going to cut it off and then I'll hammer it in. Okay, I cut it off. I'm going to put it back in there. I'm going to use this piece of wood against that to support it. And then I'm going to hit this piece of wood. Not quite all the way in there. Feels good though. Let me just try it one more time. Okay, because I am a little OCD and I don't want that piece of wood sticking out there, I'm going to use this chisel and try to cut it away. Good. Got it. That's better. I feel much better about that. I hope you do too. Mark just left, so I'm going to see if I can manage moving these 50-pound bags of grain. That wasn't too bad. Now these other two bags here are partial bags of whole barley and split peas. So I want to put those in tubs. I will use the split peas for us, but the barley will be used for the animals. Okay, I found some buckets, but we need to change the labeling on them. Okay, so we have barley and yellow split peas. Oh boy, you guys, that was close. That was close. The weight shifted on me. Got little flower buds in here. I was like, what is that? This is for animal. It's an animal grade barley. All right. And split peas. We have another bag here. I'm gonna collect here. Now I'll go get my little vacuum and clean up my mess. Okay, you guys, this is looking so much better. It's just so much more useful than it was. And I like having this ramp area emptied out. I still have a few things that I'll probably move around. And then down here, we have some things that I'll probably shift also. But so far, so good. I haven't even brought canned goods in yet. Oh boy, I got a lot of work to do. Okay, I'm gonna try to organize this better and clean it up a little bit. Okay, that's better. Now we need to work down here. Mark made me this just real inexpensive shelf to separate this wide area so that I could put jars under it and on top of it, instead of having to buy new shelves that was going to cost over $100 to buy 2 shelves. So he made one for this one. I have one here that will go over here, and then he also made one for one bottom shelf. So now I have to move some of this stuff around and decide what I'm going to put where. But before I do that, I ran across my water bath canner, which reminded me I need somewhere to put all my canners because they're still in the floor of my creamery right now. So I have this little rolling cart thing. So I think I am going to just put it right here next to this shelf and put all of my canners on it. So let's do that first. We got new rugs upstairs, so I stuck one of the rugs in here so that this kind of bumpy gravel cement won't be as hard on my feet when I come to get, look at this. One of my canners, you guys. This is like, just brings me peace. Just having somewhere to house my canners. They've been sitting in the floor of my creamery. Now, my electric canner is not down here yet because I do plan on doing some canning next week, so I just left it up there for now. We're making so much progress, you guys. I'm so excited. Now, I think now, I'm going to take these shelves into the workroom. I'm going to sand them just a little bit on the edges, and I'm going to start putting away canned goods. I got the shelves sanded, but I think I'm going to use this paper and cover the tops of them. I mean, why not, right? Okay, I got the shelves done. Let me show you. They look great. Look at that. Now I get to start bringing my canned goods in. I put the third one right there. I was gonna put it down here, but I brought my potatoes in here instead. Oh my goodness, you guys. I didn't think I would ever get here. I've been waiting 2 months to put all of these preserved foods on these shelves. Okay, I have everything in from the table downstairs, but now I have to go upstairs and get all of those boxes and bring them down. So I'm gonna keep working. And at this point, I'm not gonna show you what else I do. I want it to be a surprise. Okay, you guys, this is the larder door and we're gonna go behind it, but I'm gonna start with the back part of the larder that my husband calls the far larder. You guys, I really need to talk to him about these names. Tell me if you have a better name for it, okay? So, just so you know, we have the far larder, the hardy har larder. That's the little part that kind of dips down in. It's just a funny little part. So it's the ha-ha larder. And then we have the near larder, which is the first part you walk into. So we're going into the back of the larder, whatever you want to call it. Let me know, please. And we're going to start there. Now, before we get started, let me remind you of what it looked like before. So here is the far larder. We have jams and coffee and extra things that we get from Costco, just all kinds of stuff. But you'll see we have extra room. I managed to give us extra space, so now I know I can stock up on some other things. Then this is all of our squashes. Some of them we grew, a lot of them we grew. And then some of them we bought at the Amish produce auction. I'll leave a card if you want to see everything that we bought that day. We put this shelf together and it works great for this. We also have our onions over here, which are almost gone because I did not grow enough. We've got our oats in a bucket there. Okay, now we're going to move to the hardy har larder, or the middle funny step down section. But let me show you what it looked like before. This has been a 2-day process, and that shelf unit right there was 2 days of that 3-day process. So I went through and I pared it all down and was able to put some of the storage that was in the far larder onto these shelves. Now we also have down in this area our grains, our flour, stuff like that. We have made our own chicken feed and rabbit feed. So we have grains for that. And I brought some pallets in and was able to move our other grains to be down in there instead of up in the walkway. And I love it. Now we also have, it's not in the Hardy Larder, but it is the walkway to it. We still have some more grain bins, and they are much tidier. Everything that was open is in a bucket so that we don't have partially opened things sitting around. And I just love this, you guys. It's wonderful. Now we're gonna move down to the near larder. Let me remind you what it looked like before. I was able to move all the bags of grain that were here on this kind of sloped area. And we have partial bags of grains in that big barrels so that they don't spill. And I also put our sweet potatoes there. We also have our onions hanging in pantyhose. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a card for that for you. I decided to even hang a picture. I'm so excited about this room. Let's go on around the corner. But first, what it looked like before. So since this is the near larder, let me just open the door and start here with a new home for my canning pots. I'm so happy about that. Then we'll go behind the door and look at this shelf with my canned goods on it. We have all kinds of things. And I'm pretty excited about this, you guys. This was a lot of work, and it's been a long time coming to get it all put away. The shelves that Mark built me are great. I love it. We were able to put our potatoes down here, and we have all kinds of goodies on the shelves. And actually, a lot of duplicates of these items are up in my pantry next to the kitchen. I have a video on organizing that also because that's where it all had to begin. I had to start there, then move down here, and now I have one more space to organize before I can feel like I can just kind of rest for a few days. I think one of the best things I did this year was can a lot of soups. These are cream of chicken soups that you can eat as soup or cook with. We have split pea soup in pint size as well as quart size, tomato soup, beef stew, taco soup, and zuppa, which is sausage, potatoes, and kale. It's a soup that they serve at Olive Garden that we absolutely love. We actually had more than this, but we've been using out of the boxes sitting on the tables. And the exciting thing is, look, I have a whole empty shelf. I have empty there. I could move that stuff and put more things there, and I'm going to. I have a lot of canning that I still want to do. I have a whole list upstairs. So I've just been waiting to get to a point where I can do it. And now, if I finish this last room and my greenhouse, I think I can. So hopefully by middle of November or after Thanksgiving, I can start my canning again. You guys, thank you so much. You have blessed me, you have encouraged me, and you have inspired me to push through and get this job done. Without you, I don't think I could have done it. It just was very daunting. And like I said, it took 3 days. So thank you so much for coming along with me. And I hope you are able to have an area, no matter how small, to store some things, to be able to grow and preserve. You guys, if I can do this, you can do this. I have never had my own larder like this where I have my canned goods. I have squashes and pumpkins and potatoes and sweet potatoes and onions and a freezer full of produce that I have preserved as well. I never dreamed that I would be able to do this. I have watched videos of people, and I know there are a lot of people out there that have a whole lot more stored than I do. And it's not a storing of fear that I'm gonna end up not being able to ever go to the store or anything like that. It's just the fact that I can do this. I can do this for my family. I know what is in these jars. I didn't add extra preservatives or chemicals or anything like that. And they're right here. I don't have to go to the store to get them. And a lot of these things came out of my garden that I grew over the year. Or like the chicken soup, I've been saving our chicken carcasses, and I made a broth and I thickened it. If you want to see how I did a lot of these soups, I will leave a card that leads you to my soup week for the Every Bit Counts challenge. And you can see the recipes and maybe do some yourself. Thanks again so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, or push that bell so that when I have a video come up, you will be one of the first ones to know. Thanks again. And until next time, when we're working in the apothecary, blessings to you and yours.